Welcome to Ludlow Elim. Great to have you with us online. If you want to be with us in person, we meet 10:30 in Ludlow. It'd be great to see you, but we hope you're going to be blessed. We've got our one service. This was recorded last week, and I hope you are blessed by it. We're looking at Daniel, looking how God is with us through it all.
Looking at Daniel, and it's a thought of God being with us, because we've been kind of going through the Daniel dilemma these past couple of Sundays and thinking about standing firm and loving well. And we're going to carry on doing that afterwards. But today we thought, because we're doing that series, let's do something different. What is maybe another message from the book of Daniel? And the thought that I had is that God is with us through it all. Because I think that comes really strongly through for Daniel's life, but also Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. I'm trying to say the Hebrew names instead of their Babylonian names of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. But yeah, we're just going to have a look at how God is with us through it all.
Here's a trust thing.
So,
In life, problems happen, don't they?
yeah.
And you can feel like the problem is right over your head. Yeah? And then other stuff comes along. And just makes it worse. But the bag's still holding together. There could be big problems or a little problem, but it still holds together. And whatever we face in life, God still holds us all together. Yeah, it's whatever we're facing, whatever we're going through, He holds it all together. The actual why that is not dripping, which it's actually. Thank you, John. You can sit down. You have been really brave. Thank you, because it went really well. I'm going to put this in the sink. So, the reason that didn't drip is that the bag is made up of a polymer, and they bond straight away to the pencils as they go through. No. So the as they go through, the actual chemical compound of the plastic bonds to the pencil, and it takes the weight of the water. So that I love it. I love science. It's that thing of God is still with us, even though we feel poked and prodded, even when it seems like disaster is going to fall upon us from a mighty height. God is still there. And we're going to go through the first 3 chapters of Daniel. In the first chapter of Daniel, you see Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. I think I've got the names right now. You see these 4 Hebrew, probably nobles. They were sons of nobles, been led to Babylon. So they've been captured, probably quite... maybe beaten up or anything like that. They're taken into servitude. They could quite easily think that the weight of everything was just going to fall upon them, and it was all going to just go pear-shaped. But they still trusted God to hold it all together. And when they were asked to eat from the king's table in Babylon, they said no. They trusted God would hold it all together. And as we trust, God will hold it together. Even when those problems come, even when we face those things, God will hold it all together. So that's the first thought for you this morning. And so we're going to quickly have a look at Daniel chapter 2. Have you ever had one of those questions where it's normally especially of kids, where they ask you a question and you go, I have no idea. I'm going to have to look that up. Pepito actually last week, he asked the most amazing question. Why are digestives called digestives? Why are they called... Go on then, you tell me a question you gave me. Okay, you might have forgotten it. Because we're there to worship God. But why is digestives called digestives? I Googled it. Because when you don't know, you Google, don't you? And it is actually Victorian kind of reasons. Because they put bicarbonate of soda in the biscuit as the leaven rising agent, it was deemed as to help your digestion and keep you regular. So that's the reason why it got called digestive. So I never knew that. Yeah, we all know now. But in Daniel chapter 2, there's a real problem of not knowing. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, he's had this dream, and he's quite concerned about it. But he calls all the wise men of Babylon together, and he goes, you're going to need to interpret my dream. But he doesn't tell them his dream. He expects them to know the dream and then interpret it as well. So all the wise men in Babylon, they're kind of going, well, come on, you need to actually at least tell us the dream for us to interpret it. Which I think, to be fair, that's kind of fair enough. But Nebuchadnezzar, because he was so powerful, he was like, nope. I want you to tell me the dream first and then interpret it. And he got so mad with the wise men of Babylon that he was going to kill them all. So this is where we're going to pick up. We're going to read scripture now. So if you can put it up in succession. So this is Daniel chapter 2, verses 14. When Arioch, these are all hard words, aren't they? The commander of the king's guard had gone out to put to death the wise men of Babylon. Daniel spoke to him with wisdom and tact. He definitely got some wisdom and tact to kind of go up to the man who was about to kill him and actually get him to have a good answer, isn't it? So he asked the king's officer, why did the king issue such a harsh decree? Arioch then explained the matter to Daniel. At this, Daniel went into the king and asked for time so that he might interpret the dream. Then Daniel returned to his house and explained the matter to his friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Can you imagine explaining that to your mates when you come back? You'd be a bit freaked out, wouldn't you? He urged them to plead mercy from God of heaven concerning the mystery, so that he and his friends might not be executed with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. During the night, the mystery was revealed to Daniel in a vision. Then Daniel praised God, the God of heaven, and said, praise be the name of the God forever, for God forever and ever. Wisdom and power are his. He changes times and season. He deposes kings and raises up others. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the discerning. He reveals deep and hidden things. He knows what lies in darkness, and light dwells with him. I thank and praise you, God of my ancestors. You have given me wisdom and power. You have made known to me what we asked of you. And you have made known to us the dream of the king. Then Daniel went to Arioch, whom the king had appointed to execute the wise men of Babylon, and said to him, do not execute the wise men of Babylon. Take me to the king, and I will interpret his dream for him. Then the last, Arioch took Daniel to the king, and at once he said, I have found a man among the exiles of Judah who can tell the king what his dream means. The king asked Daniel, also called Balthazar, "Are you able to tell me what I saw in my dream and interpret it?" And I love this response. Daniel replied, "No wise man, enchanter, magician, or diviner can explain to the king the mystery he has asked about. But there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries. He has shown King Nebuchadnezzar what will happen in the days to come. Your dream and the visions that pass through your mind as you are lying in your bed are these." And he goes on to explain it. So when we don't understand, there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries. Whenever we're facing something that we can't get our heads around, whenever we're kind of coming up against something that we just don't get, there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries. He is a good God and he is faithful. And he even would know what a digestive why a digestive was called a digestive.
Right, now in good old-fashioned Sunday school fashion, I am going to read you the story. Now every time you hear the word Nebuchadnezzar, you've got to go, no, no, no. Can you do that for me? Nebuchadnezzar? No. Okay. And this is Daniel 3, and this is another of Daniel's dilemmas, but it is his three friends. I'm afraid I haven't learned the Hebrew word, so they are going to be called Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in this story. Right. King Nebuchadnezzar decided to build a gigantic golden statue that all his subjects would worship. It was 27 meters high and nearly 3 meters wide. Do I need it? Yeah. No. Right. When as soon as you hear the music, the king's herald announced, "Kneel down and worship it. Anyone who disobeys will be thrown into the fiery furnace." When Nebuchadnezzar was told that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had refused, because as Jews they worshipped only God, he erupted with anger. "You have one last chance," he told them, "before I throw you into the furnace. What God of yours could save you then?" The three stood bravely before the king. "Our God can save us from the flames," they replied. "But even if he doesn't," I like this bit, "even if he doesn't, we still won't worship your gods." The king's fury increased even further, and he ordered the furnace to be made 7 times hotter. So fierce were the flames that the soldiers who threw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in died on the spot. The king, Nebuchadnezzar, expected to see the three quickly burnt to a cinder, but his eyes widened with amazement. "Oh, look! I cannot see 3 but 4 men in there. Who's in there? Walking in the fire." Well, who do we think it was? Yeah. Yes. "Come out, servants of the Most High God." Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego walked out, their bodies and clothes not been burned at all. They didn't even smell of smoke. Everyone should praise the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Nebuchadnezzar declared, well, in that case, it's yes, actually, isn't it? Yeah. They were willing to die rather than worship any god except their own. But God sent an angel to save them. The king was so impressed that he promoted them to higher jobs in his kingdom. Now, I like that bit where it says, "Even if God doesn't save me, I will not worship your gods." Right. Before I go any further, I would like, who would I like? I would like, Aslan. Girls, I'm going to get Aslan. I'm going to, right. Aslan, can you hold that there? Right. So, I forgot to get water. Hang on. I've got some. So we've heard a lot about God is with us, God holds us in the difficulties. He reveals things. When Daniel dreamed about the dream, Daniel prayed, went back and prayed, and God revealed what they needed to know. And we have fires. What should I put in there? Right. We have fires in life. And fire normally consumes everything in its path. But fire also purifies. It purifies precious metal. It cleanses. And when you have the forest fires, it brings new life. Oh, yeah, sorry, can you turn around to face your congregation? That's it, lovely. Thank you. Sorry, thank you, Dane. Oh, I bought a new one, I forgot to put that in. Right, now, that'll do. So, as the fires burn in your life, that might be the fire of disappointment. Is it going to work? It will work in a minute. No, not real fire. No, it'll just look like fire, and I will carry on while it works. In our life, in our Christian work, we find ourselves in situations where it feels like we are being silenced by others. Silenced by others. We fear speaking out or sharing, even in the gentlest way, what we believe to be true. The fire's just taking a bit to get going. But Jesus is with us. We fear the repercussions, the reactions of others, rejection, or even ridicule. So often in life, if we stand our ground for what we believe is right, oh, it's taking its time, we will be the one who ends up actually with respect. Daniel and his 3 friends, 3 times at this point, have blatantly said no to King Nebuchadnezzar. And in this case, there was the threat of death. But in the end, he saw the power of God in that situation, and he respected God. And he gave Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego a little swizzle. Yeah, let's see if it goes out. I'll put another thing in a minute. So the point is, what it was supposed to be was, because we don't follow the crowd and we don't give in to peer pressure, if we share what we believe to be true, but with sincerity, integrity, and love for others, we will receive respect eventually. You will receive respect eventually. King Nebuchadnezzar was a man with great power, and he was ruthless, but God revealed himself and his power to him because of the faith and the trust of the 3 friends and Daniel in the previous chapters. God was revealed. In the fires of our lives, God can reveal himself to us. You're waiting so patiently. And to others. To keep. And he wants to keep us safe and strengthen us and encourage us. Fire purifies. Fire cleanses. So the fires in our life and the struggles in our life will actually make us stronger. And in the end, we will be respected by many for what we stood for, as what is true. Now, as an example of this, I said to the children, putting some life into this, In the playground, you've got somebody who is the person everybody in school wants to be friends with. The person everybody loves, everybody wants to be friends with. And you're in the gang with this friend. Sorry, I'm making noise. And try again. And you're asked to go over to a child in the playground. This sounds a bit ruthless, but it makes the point. And say, you smell, and then run back, like a truth and dare, like a dare thing. What would you do? Because you... yeah, that's... More petrol, yeah. There you go. Probably, that's it. So I said to them, what would you do? Would you go? Would you, because you want to be part of the gang, you want to be with that group, you want to be with the cool people, and if you don't do this there, they're not going to let you play with them anymore. What you're going to do? And I didn't prompt them, and they all said, we just wouldn't do it. Yeah? How many people in a workplace are put in a difficult situation where you're asked to do something which you shouldn't, like lie or cheat or something, and you really don't want to do it, but you might lose your job if you don't. What are you going to do? Oh, that's a tough one. That is a very tough one. But that is what this fiery furnace, this Daniel dilemma really illustrates. But when you do the right thing, when you make the right move, when you do what Jesus would do, God is revealed. God is revealed. Right. We got there eventually. Well, you enjoyed watching that, haven't you? And waiting very patiently. What am I going to do with it now? Well, tip it. Oh, no, I'm not going to put it in a plastic bag and tip it on your head. No, I'm not going to do that, see? It didn't work quite as well as it was supposed to, and I have practiced ever such a lot. Is that, no, yeah, well, it might be because I didn't put that one in, yes. So that's it then. Let's keep our eyes on Jesus. Let's do the right thing. Let's do what Jesus would do. And you will be respected eventually. You will be respected. Those that don't give in to peer pressure always get respected in the end. And that's the end.
So, hope you're really blessed by that. And if you want to contact us, please do follow the links to our website, or contact us by email or phone, or however you want to contact us. Love to speak with you if you've got any questions or anything. But praying God's richest blessing on your life, and we'll leave you with the notices. God bless.